Hi you guys, and welcome back. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I have been getting a lot of questions about the makeup that I was wearing in my last video, and I sometimes get questions about it on my Instagram page from some of my posts. Thank you guys, by the way. But I just want to clarify that I am a novice. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, so you can learn right along with me. I plan on continuing to get better, and in the meantime, this is just a look that I came up with today. It's a little bit more dramatic than what I would wear on a regular basis. I actually don't really wear makeup daily, but I had a lot of fun, and I was inspired by the Black Panther. It was so good. Oh my God. I'm that Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody black, pro-black chick. That doesn't mean that I'm anti anything else, so don't get me wrong, but I love my people. I love us for real. So if you're curious about how I created this dramatic look, stay tuned because we are about to get started. As you can see, I have some discoloration from prior acne, just some scarring. So I will first go in with a detoxifying wipe as well as some balancing moisturizer. This is just going to make sure that I have a nice clean canvas to work on. I then use my Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser along with a lip scrub. This also just allows for a smooth application of my lipstick when I apply it later. And now that my skin is primed, let's tackle those brows. I am going to be using my e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit as well as my NYX Eyebrow Liner. And I just use a spoolie or a brush to just make sure that I have a nice clean start for those eyebrows before I go in with that pencil. My goal is to just trace around the perimeter of my eyebrows. That way I can then bring down the pencil strokes, and that'll kind of help to fill in those brows once I'm done, so it's not such a harsh line. So don't be afraid, folks. This is not the final product. It's gonna look a little crazy to start with. I'm now going to pull that eyebrow pencil product up and down into my skin, sort of to fill it all in, along with that eyebrow kit in the darker shade. This is just going to really give me more of the definition that I'm looking for. It looks crazy now, but trust me folks, it's going to be fine. Typically I use my MAC concealer, but I was actually trying to do a challenge of seeing if I can use discounted products, and so I'm going to use the LA Colors Cover Up Concealer along with my concealer brush, and I'm just going to clean up those lines because, as I was saying, I'm not very good at staying within the lines. And so just tracing all of the excess that I don't want to show through on my brows. I'm just going to do that on each side. Once I'm done, I use the product that's left on that brush and sort of blend out that excess in the front. It just gives more of that gradient look. Just here, you can even see the difference between the two brows and how much more natural it looks when you perform this step. And really going into the front of your brow, it does give you that nice effect of a natural, clean, freshly arched brow. And so now that I'm done, I don't know, I'm doing a little dance. I don't know what that's about because I was happy I was done. So now we're going to go in with the LA Colors liquid makeup, and I am going to be applying about 2 pumps of that to my face. I had never used this before. Again, I was just trying to use some discounted brands, and I had seen some other YouTubers use it. They have flawless skin, so it was not the best for me. And I say that because I personally don't like to apply more than 2 layers of foundation to my face, because at that point it can feel very cakey, not to mention it's expensive. The more product you're applying, the quicker you have to go out and buy more. And I use MAC, I don't have time for that. So anyway, moving on, I am applying that concealer once more, and I'm just trying to use that to cover up those dark spots on my face. The foundation didn't provide that coverage that I needed, so I am just trying something here. And what I like to do is actually go under my eyelids, and I have dark circles, so I like to sort of tackle that and brighten them up. And I like to trace all the way up the side of my eye. As you can see, that will give more of a lifted effect to your face, and so I do recommend trying that step out and see if you like it. I then go in and blend out all of that product. Off camera, I actually applied an additional layer of foundation. It didn't do much, so I decided to move on to my LA Colors I Love Makeup Contour Palette in the darkest shade offered. And as you can see, I'm just starting from the top of my forehead and sort of tracing down my cheekbones. And I also go in to my nose with one of my eyeshadow brushes actually, and it's just sort of tracing around to give my nose and my face more definition because I have a naturally round face. I'm also tracing that line to my cheekbones. You can do it towards your jawline as well if you want to create more definition around your jawline, and I'm just sort of blending that out. Now I typically like to use a liquid contour, like maybe a foundation at a darker shade, but I just decided to stick with the LA Colors, and here is the LA Colors Mineral Setting Powder, and I'm just sort of applying that to all of the places where I would have excess shine. And from there, I'm going to be using my banana powder to sort of, they call it baking. I'm not going to bake. I'm just sort of applying that as an additional preventative measure because I don't want to have a lot of creasing or a lot of excess shine. So I do apply that. Some people like to leave it on for several minutes. I usually only give it about 30 seconds before I remove it because otherwise I look like a ghost. And so from here, as you can see, I'm starting to look a little ghostly and I wasn't very happy with the coverage, but again, we're going to keep going, okay? So now I'm going to be using my NYX Eyeshadow Base, and this is going to help prevent my eyeshadow from creasing as well as keeping the product nice and pigmented as it looks here. From my Pure Cosmetic palette, I'm going to be using my darkest shade, which is the Licorice. And as you can see, I'm just sort of tracing around the crease of my eye. Again, I'm not trying to be perfect because we will clean all of that up in due time. I'm just trying to get it all applied. And from there, I'm sort of blending it out with the next to darkest shade, which is Espresso. Starting from the brow bone, I like to use the lightest shade in this palette, which is actually Butterscotch. And this is just going to have a nice shine to it. And then I like to work my way down with the caramel color as well to give it more definition. And then lastly, I go in with my Toffee color to blend everything out to make sure I have a nice smoky look that isn't too harsh. From there, I'm going to use my Peony Shadow Trio in the golden color. I just like to apply this inside of my lids. It gives a nice golden flex. And then from there, I'm just using a little bit more of that concealer to sort of clean up those lines and make sure that I have a nice crisp finish. Now I'm going to use my V-Lux Eye and V Lashes in Chloe, and I'm just trying to adjust to make sure that they're okay. As you can see, the before and after, how they look compared to my natural lashes. I am then going to go in with my Wet n Wild mascara, and this is just going to be applied to the top and bottom of the lashes just before I use my NYX Dual Chromatic Illuminating Powder. This is just going to give you a nice sun-kissed glow, so even if the sun isn't out, I mean, fake it till you make it, girl. Here, I'm just going in and wiping off that excess lip scrub so that I can have a nice smooth application when I line my lips. And I like to sort of go in, this will give us more of an ombre look. So I don't just trace the inside. And then I'm going to be using, this is actually probably the more expensive item. Sorry, I forgot, but this is going to be my MAC lipstick in Ruby Roo. And as you can see, I'm just filling in that color. What I like to do, because again, I cannot seem to stay inside the lines, I like to trace around any spots where I may have gone over and clean all that up with the concealer before I go in with my LA Colors High Shine Lip Gloss. I'm just applying this to the center of my lips because it gives you more of a pouty look. Lastly, I'm just going to apply some Vaseline onto my teeth, and yeah, I know that looks bad, but lastly, I'm going to be using my NYX Dewy Finish Setting Powder to remove the cast and let that dry, and we are done. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. With continued practice and effort, I hope to only make you proud, and hopefully if you have any tips on other great makeup products that I could use, I would love to hear from you. But until next time, bye.